Hey guys, what's cracking? It's Krakenation. I'm coming at you guys now with another video to talk about a competitive analysis for another Pokemon in Generation 8, Sword and Shield. Today we're going to be talking about Intelion. Before we get started, I just wanted to apologize in advance to anyone who's Sword and Shield I may have inadvertently spoiled with the last video. I'm going to try to be a little more careful with this one. Until November 15th when the game is released, I'm going to have the thumbnail blurred and a spoiler warning in the description. So or the title I should say. So that's going to be a heads up. Apologize in advance if I messed up with anybody, but for now we're just going to have it blurred out, and I'll change it all to the normal tone that it will be on the day of November 15th on the release day. So let's go ahead and get into this. So first up, we've got the final evolution of the water type starter Intelion. So Intelion is the final evolution of Sobble. It is a water type with the abilities Torrent, Sniper. First up, I'm going to be totally good with guys. I hate this design. I'm a person who always loves the water type starter. I always pick the water type starter, and this one is just really not doing it for me. I think it's just weirdly really too skinny. So probably not going to end up picking this one, but we'll see what happens. It's definitely some bad abilities also. Torrent and Sniper are neither of which are abilities you're going to want to use. I figure Torrent will probably be the better one on average, but neither one's particularly great. Without further ado, let's get into the stats. So first up, we're going to take a look at these stats. So we've got 70 HP, 65 defense, 65 special defense. So obviously this is extremely frail attacker. But that's okay because it's got the special attack and speed to make up for it. So it's very fast at 120. That's a really, really great speed stat. And its special attack is very excellent also. And also notably, it has a decent attack stat. Nothing great, but it has access to some physical moves. So there's the option to run it physical if you're really, really desperate to. But for the most part, you're going to want to take use of that really great special attack stat and that great speed stat, making it a frail special attacker, kind of in the vein of a Pokemon like Gengar. In that kind of niche of fast, frail special attacker is really where this Pokemon is going to operate best. So some notable moves for Intelion are Snipe Shot, which is its signature move. I don't think this is a move that's going to see competitive play, at least in singles. But what it does is it kind of ignores the effects of something like Storm Drain or moves that draw water types to a certain Pokemon and just hits the target that you wanted to hit, which I guess could have some application in maybe like a double setting, but in singles I don't think it's going to be very important. But in the singles metagame, what will be important are these other moves. So for example, Hydro Pump and Scald will be your best two go-to water moves. It also gets Surf if you were curious, but Hydro Pump or Scald, pick one or the other. Those are two really great water stab moves. Hydro Pump for power, Scald for reliability, and that burn chance obviously is really good. It does get a pretty good amount of coverage actually on the special side. Moves like Air Slash and Ice Beam will allow you to hit those grass types that might resist. Ice Beam is obviously really good with the water type coverage. U-turn is really nice for Pokemon like this. It's fast. If a Pokemon that threatens it comes in, it can U-turn out and switch out before taking any damage, get that fast pivot out. And then it's also got options like Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse, pretty kind of redundant coverage-wise, but those are a couple options you have to hit maybe like a Psychic type, for example. It has option to hit that as well. So also we've got a couple physical moves here. It's got an interesting physical move set that I wanted to talk about. So it's got Swords Dance. So that physical attack stat that isn't awful, definitely not good, not crazy good by any stretch. But that Swords Dance will boost it up to a respectable level, and it's got the physical moves to make use of it. Moves like Liquidation, Icicle, and Sucker Punch are its best physical moves. So assuming all the leaks that we've seen so far are correct, this is going to be an interesting Pokemon if you wanted to kind of surprise somebody with a Swords Dance heat set. I wouldn't be completely opposed to that because I think this has the opportunity to run physical. Now, let me just preface that, or let me kind of add the annotation to that you really shouldn't probably do that. That is more of a meme. It's going to be something you could do to catch your opponent off guard. But clearly, this Pokemon is intended to be run as a fast, frail, special attacker, glass cannon type Pokemon. So you're going to want to stick to those special moves for the most part. Don't take this as a recommendation to go out and try Swords Dance. Just something I wanted to talk about, that it does have that option if you were looking to catch some people off guard. So we're going to look at a couple sets here. The first set that I have for you guys is a special attacker set. It's going to be with the item choice specs. You could also run Life Orb if you wanted to capitalize on the ability to switch out, such as use a Hydro Pump and then a U-turn. I think Life Orb is a very viable option for this set as well. Choice specs is what I have here just so you can maximize that power output, but I definitely think Life Orb is an option because this Pokemon is already so frail, you're not going to really need to be able to take hits because you won't be able to take them anyways. So that Life Orb recoil won't be that much of a hindrance to you. For the ability, we've got Torrent. I think of Torrent is going to be the choice over Sniper. Obviously, neither of these abilities, like I said, is great, but I think Torrent in a situation where your HP was low, which is pretty likely, I guess, with this guy, Hydro Pump will be able to hit incredibly hard. So we've got 252 special attack, 252 speed, and a timid nature. You know, just kind of textbook special attacking stats. Obviously, you want to take advantage of that speed stat when you can. We've got Hydro Pump over Scald here, so you can maximize your power output. Ice Beam to hit those grass types, Dark Pulse for coverage, and then U-Turn to be able to switch out. So again, like I said, Life Orb would be a really good option if you plan on clicking U-Turn a lot, because then you could click the Hydro Pump, and when the check switches in, you could U-Turn on out of there into your next answer. So I feel like this Pokemon would fit, this kind of set would fit right at home on any kind of maybe like a bulky offense as a cleaner, or a Revenge Killer would be a good option for it. Something like that would be on an offensive team would be good options for it. We got another set here. Now this is that meme set that I was talking about, but this is a Swords Dance Intelion here. This time we're gonna run that Life Orb because we know we got to switch those moves around. 252 attack this time in Jolly Nature instead of Timid. Obviously we're gonna run Torrent again just because, like I said, I think that's gonna be better than Sniper in most situations. But we got Liquidation, Icicle Spear, and Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is kind of just because you already are so fast, but it's never bad to have a priority move on hand just in case your opponent's gonna hit you with a priority move back. Icicle Spear will be able to hit those grass types very, very hard, especially assuming you get multiple hits in, and Liquidation is a great physical coverage move, physical stab move for Intelion to use. So let's talk about the pros and the cons to summarize this video. So first up, obviously you've got that great speed. That's the most noticeable thing about this Pokemon that's going to make it stand out in any kind of competitive format. It's also got a decent move pool, able to use both physical and special attacks. You could run a mixed set if you wanted even, but it's got a decent move pool and good enough coverage to hit the things it needs to hit. It doesn't have any obvious counters. There are Pokemon that it can't hit super effectively. Like for example, a Steel type won't be afraid of any attacks that this thing has to throw at it, but Steel types won't be able to shrug off those Hydro Pumps for the most part either. For example, a Pokemon like Ferrothorn could pose a pretty big problem for Intelion, especially defensive Ferrothorn. I could imagine posing a big problem. So you could easily run Hidden Power Fire, for example, to catch those Ferrothorns off guard. So it's got the move pool and the stats to back it up, which is to say that it's got a powerful attacking capability overall. It also has access to pivot moves, so U-Turn is going to be huge for a Pokemon like this, where your goal is never to take hits. Can you imagine how good Gengar would be if it got U-Turn? Well, this is an exact example of, like, obviously this Pokemon's probably not going to be quite as good as Gengar, because just the typing wise, but the ability to attack fast, switch out before your thread makes this immediately just speed can just immediately propel it into competitive viability all by itself. There are some cons though, like we talked about, it is very frail. So obviously setting up a Swords Dance is going to be something difficult. You could always try to bluff that you were going to special attack and then set up the Swords Dance on that move, on that turn, but it is very frail, so you're not going to be taking hits very often. It also has no setup on the special side really. So the Swords Dance is an option on the physical side, but no kind of setup for its more significant stat makes it hard, because it would be a Pokemon if it had like a Nasty Plot, for example. Nasty Plot would be terrific for it to use against teams, because it would be able to boost up and then proceed to hopefully go on a tear a little bit. It's also got limited non-offensive utility, so it doesn't really have a non-offensive move pool, so you're going to struggle to find ways to use it in more of tech type settings. So that's Intelion in a nutshell. Overall, I think this could easily be a Pokemon that fits into like the UU tier. Just off its speed alone, I wouldn't be shocked. These kind of fast water types tend to make an impact. Fast offensive Pokemon in general tend to make an impact. So I wouldn't be shocked if this Pokemon managed to get as high as the UU tier. I would imagine UU RU would be a good home for it. Just in general, I think OU is going to be a little tough for it. It doesn't have quite the coverage, the power, the move pool to kind of punish the OU metagame as much. So I think it's going to be a good Pokemon, but nothing too outstanding. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. It is always really appreciated, guys. I'm trying to really make sure I capitalize and I'm able to give you guys the content you need on these new Pokemon that are coming out. So make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all your competitive analyses for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and if you want to support this channel. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Krakenation out.